So I'm going to tell you the number one skill that any graphic designer or creative can have. This is just going to be me and you today. No fancy editing. I'm just talking. We're just having a conversation, so you can feel free to let me know your comments immediately. When I say this, it's not a skill in so much as like a graphic design skill component. It's not being an expert in a specific tool. The number one skill that any beginning graphic designer or any creative can have is the ability to delay gratification. Now, let me explain what that means, because you may have heard that and you're like, that's useless information. That's not going to help me get clients. That's not going to help me pay my bills. Actually, I think it is. So when you're young, you always want something immediately. You want what you want ASAP immediately. But what my parents would always tell me, and maybe many of you, is that if you can just be patient, good things will happen. Now, that's really hard to understand as a kid, and that's also really hard to understand and do as someone that's either starting their own creative business or starting their own creative journey, because if you're an adult, you need money, right? To pay your bills, to feed your kids, whatever it is. But the reason I think it is the most vital skill for any creative to learn is because it frees you up to do good work, to do exactly what you want to do, to meet people, to communicate with them, to slow down in the process so that you find the winning client or the winning design style or what have you by that ability to be patient. So let me break down a couple of examples as to why I think being able to be patient, being able to delay the gratification, to look towards the long-term reward is the best skill you can have as a creative. So number one would be your design style or your design niche or your expertise. So a lot of times when creatives or beginning designers are starting out, they're going to be really tempted to kind of jump either on a trend, which you might be able to do really well. But the problem with that is that it's very difficult to specialize in that thing, because now you're competing with a lot of other people that are doing the same thing, and or you're competing with larger names or bigger companies and agencies that already can do that thing really well. And if you have the ability to be patient, to go through the different styles in whatever practice you're going to do in graphic design, maybe you're going to specialize in merch, maybe you're going to specialize in social graphics, maybe you're going to specialize in branding. You want to experiment and make sure that you're aligned with the actual design style that you're going to be producing. In my case, it took me a while of trying different iterations of branding and logo design to figure out that I wanted to sit at home with vintage design, vintage lettering. It attracts a very specific clientele, and I just had to be patient over the year or two that it took me to fall into that category, to practice and refine my craft before I attracted the right clientele that would be looking for a hand lettered logo, more of a timeless feel, that more bold serif font look or something like that. So if you rush into this and you're saying, I'm either going to be able to do all the styles, so now I'm a freelance creative, I'm a freelance graphic designer, I can do all the styles, hey, come hire me, you're probably going to get crickets. It's just my assumption, because you're now competing with all of the people and all of the agencies that can also do all of the things, all of the styles really well, as opposed to being patient, taking your time, finding the design style that you actually align with and can niche in on, to narrow down on, so that you attract the right clientele. And that is a process that takes time. Another area where delaying gratification is important is networking and connecting with people. Another tendency to get work immediately is to run to these places like Fiverr or Upwork, in where you can make some money, maybe short term. You can get some short term jobs that are easy to fulfill and get some money in the bank, but you're not exactly networking or making connection with other freelance creatives and or creatives that are working at agencies that you probably want to be aligned with if they're in the same area of design style or niche or practice. And networking, unless anybody has a completely different method to this, which you're free to comment down below, networking takes a lot of time. Duda, our social media manager, recently posted something on our Instagram that was talking about how to gather a following, how to get more work through social media for your graphic design business. And one of her points was to go and engage and comment on other accounts and other influencers or people of the work that you like a lot. And that is exactly what I did when I was starting out. I was finding those people, those artists, those companies, those agencies, whatever, that were aligned with the same style of work that I was doing. And it took months of just constantly showing up, liking, engaging, sharing, DMing, just to get connected with some of these people. And a few of the people that I reached out to are now long-term friends that I've gone and seen in their hometown. They've come and seen me in mine, and it took months, maybe even years, to just build a relationship. And that's not something that you can just rush into. Hence, being able to be patient, understanding the process, and delaying gratification is the number one skill there. And I think the third point is the ability to delay gratification for that big win, for that big job, right? It's definitely possible if you do the steps in the right order, if you do the right processes, and you learn kind of the business of design as opposed to just the creative nature of the design, that you can kind of come out of the gate, get a big win, get a big client, get a lot of money, as long as you're good. If your work isn't good and doesn't support it, it's probably going to be the first and last time that that happens. But what I mean here is that if you're new to it, it's rare that you're going to get in with no work to show, with no clients, no case studies to show, and immediately get a major contract or something like that. I'm not saying it's not possible. Nobody go down in the comments and be like, that's bull. I got a $20 million contract my first year out of design school. I highly doubt that. I mean, if I'm wrong, show me the use case. I'll agree, but I doubt it. I know you're not going to like hearing this, but where the delay gratification skill comes in is being able to be okay with these smaller jobs. I'm not saying you have to do jobs for 10, 20, 50, even 75 or $100. I mean, you need to charge the worth of your design skill. I mean, you learned it somewhere, either online or you went to school or something like that. So charge the value of your work. But I think you need to be okay with these smaller, more localized jobs so that you can build your skill and experience just with handling and managing clients. It has nothing to do with your ability to use Photoshop or Illustrator or Kittl or whatever. It completely has to do with your ability to manage, to handle, to sell, to market, to communicate with clients, companies, other freelancers, businesses, take them from A to B in the work that needs to get done. So I would even do some projects for free. I know that doesn't sound attractive. I know that doesn't sound super sexy, but I think that it is the best way for you to get a lot of work under your belt that you can show. And it's not like future clients are going to know you did that work for nothing. If you have that to show on your portfolio, if you have to show that on your website, on your social media, it's just work. All work is going to help you get to that next level, especially if you're going to be doing work for something like a nonprofit or a charity or a local outreach in your town or your region. Those are great projects to have that will boost your skills and also just show your social credibility. And over time, doing multiple of those and building up the style of project to the next level, you are going to get in contact with that client that's going to align with your style. We liked X, Y, and Z that we saw on your website. Can you put a quote together? We're looking for the exact same thing. Now, that is a client that you are looking for when they say, we are looking for this style. We are looking for your style. We want you to bring in your perspective, your ideas, your creative into what we're going to be as a brand. We want your expertise. That's what you want. But that takes time. I did not start the graphic design experience and that just happened. And it certainly didn't happen because I was offering all of the things. I definitely was that person where I was like, yeah, you need a logo design, just send me like some ideas. Okay, they kind of want this like minimalist, super geometric sharp thing. And it's really difficult to perform and achieve a style that you just either don't care about or you don't like doing. I would just encourage you, like, don't do work that is not appealing to you. I know we talk a lot about print on demand here on the channel, and it's a fantastic passive income method for a lot of my friends who are graphic designers. It's also a fantastic moneymaker for those of you who are just hobbyists or creatives or just not a creative at all and you have a different job and you want to kind of leave that. And yeah, that's an area where you can perhaps experiment with a lot of different design styles, a lot of different niches, a lot of different audiences. But when it comes to building a graphic design portfolio or company company or agency or just a freelance, whatever it is that you are, I would encourage you to not do work that you don't want to do. I think that if you do the work that you like doing, that's the most fun for you, you're going to attract that clientele over time. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to delay that gratification. That's why I think it's the number one skill. Yes, you need to master your typography. Yes, you need to understand color. Yes, you need to understand balance and weight and hierarchy and all of these things. And I'm sure that you're always brushing up on that stuff. But I think the skill that is difficult to master is patience. And I think if you can be the most patient and the most calm and the most future forward looking, I think you'll be the most rewarded. But hey, this is a conversation, so I want you to comment down below. What are your thoughts on this? I was just thinking of this the other day. I thought this would be a great episode for me to just kind of talk with you one-on-one. There's no guest today. Maybe it would be helpful if I got a guest in here and talked about that. I've talked to guests in the past about this aspect of passion and where passion plays in making more money basically and being more successful is the passion, the urge to create and do stuff that you like or that you know the best. So I want to know what you think. If you think there's a different, more important skill, don't go down in the comments and say the most important skill is the ability to use Photoshop. Not true. I don't think that's true. Also, there's a lot of different creative tools like Kittl that you can use, and this isn't even a video about tools. This is a video about experience, about skills, about patience, honestly. I think that's probably the number one skill because I've noticed a lot of creatives, I've noticed a lot of graphic designers don't have that, and it can make you frustrated, it can make you burnt out, it can make you irritated, it can make you difficult to work with. But hey, if there's a different skill, make sure it's not a specific technical like graphic design skill. Let me know what it is. If you think it's communication, fine, we can have a conversation about that. I'd love to do a follow-up video about that if it's communication. If it's whatever else, I need your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments so we can kind of go back and forth with that. And if there's anybody that you think I should bring on the channel that would be good to talk with about this subject or any other subject, I'm open to those recommendations. I love having obviously our main collaborators and creatives on here, but I love also having entrepreneurs and other business-centric, business-minded people that can help you all go farther faster, and that's the idea. And so let me know what you think. Please join our Discord community. Christina, our community manager, is doing a phenomenal job over in the Discord and our Facebook. I'm personally privy to Discord. I think it's really easy. I always have it on my phone. I can pop in and see how the community's doing. Somebody has a problem or an issue or question, or if they want to share work or share their ideas. Discord is a phenomenal place to do that. We also have more kind of exclusive details coming about Kittl features, Kittl opportunities, the creator program, which I'm sure all of you are thinking about. So definitely join the Discord. All those links, as well as a few others, are down in the description. Now, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate when you watch the videos all the way through, especially a video like this one where we're just talking. I know sometimes it can be hard to engage, but my idea with these kinds of talking videos is that you could have it on in the background. You could be working out, driving, whatever it is, just kind of thinking back and forth together. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Kittl YouTube channel so you don't miss anything else. And I will see you in the next video.